Unfortunately, the truth will take you to a place that you may not want to be. I'm Dr. Bud Phillips. I'm an emergency room physician and founder of Outback Medicine. Collapse medicine is the type of medical care that will be possible in a system down or collapse situation. There would not be access to 911 services. Everybody will be somebody's healthcare provider at one time or another.
You a doctor?
No. I've had some training in the field.
You know, basically you need to become a very advanced medic. It's going to be tough. There will be a lot of death. What people should do now is try to first conceive that this could happen. The fact that there is no rule of law, the human factor becomes a little more wild. Security is an issue. It can get pretty dire. I think people will probably die of just sheer horror. I would say very few people are prepared for what's coming. The bottom line to that is that people are going to die.
If you are in a collapse or disaster and you haven't left by the time things have gotten really bad, you're already behind the power curve. My name is David Roberts. I'm the owner of BugoutVehicles.net. I was in the military. I spent several years overseas. I have seen what happens when things go really, really bad. I just wanted to be able to create something that somebody could use without a lot of money and without a lot of resources that would possibly get them out of a bad situation.
We're getting out of here.
Let's say that an apocalypse happened. You really do need a bug-out vehicle because some places are better than others. If you lived in the middle of the city and there's a large concentration of people and resources, you might not want to be there. You might want to be somewhere farther out in the rural areas where, you know, people are a little more spread out. Having a vehicle like this will help you. It's a 19,000-pound vehicle that travels at 55 miles an hour. It takes quite a bit to stop these. It's so important for you to have a plan and to not be afraid to implement it.
What's your destination?
I don't know. We were heading here, but I don't know.
When something does happen that you think this could get serious or this could get bad, you need to leave as soon as you start having those thoughts.
I used to work in dangerous places, and people who moved survived, and those who didn't. Movimiento es vida. Movimiento es vida.
I personally wouldn't want to, you know, stare at my family in the face and know that I couldn't do something for them.
If civilization collapses, even the most well-trained people aren't going to be okay. There's going to be so many things that are going to come up that none of us would ever think of. My name is Thomas Coyne. I'm the President and Chief Instructor at Survival Training School of California. I think being stuck in the middle of a city during the apocalypse is a lot scarier than being stranded in the wild with nothing. Because though many people may look at a place where I'm standing right now and think that nothing's here, the trained eye sees just about everything they need. They see stones that can be turned into sharp edges like knives and arrowheads. They see a tree that can be used for both food and medicine. They see all the materials for fire, tinders, and shelter. Whereas in the city, during an apocalyptic type situation, anything at all can happen.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
Once the grocery stores shut down, there's no food in the city. When those water treatment facilities shut off, there's no way to get clean water in the city. The city is based on infrastructure. If that infrastructure fails, you have nothing. In wilderness survival, We learn how to take all these things out here, transform it into deadly killing weapons for a full range of game, from stuff that weighs 1 pound to things that weigh 200 pounds. You can snare anything and you can spear just about anything. It won't take as long as you think to become proficient living in the outdoors. Every human being used to live off the earth, and that's how I know every human being still can.
It's always better to be prepared on this side of an emergency rather than on the other side. When you're scrambling and the kids are in a panic, they're crying and adrenaline is rushing, you can't quite think straight, and then you're going to try to figure out how to get out of town and where to go and what to do next? No. I'm Lisa Bedford, I'm the survival mom. I started writing and speaking as the survival mom 4 years ago when I decided that the future was more uncertain than I had ever realized. The best thing to do is to plan a 2-week emergency when there's no outside help coming and you have no electricity.
How do we know they're coming?
They're coming.
There are an awful lot of shelf-stable foods that you can buy at any grocery store.
Your medicine? I'll get us something to eat. I'll meet you back here.
You can't look at your stock of food as being everything you're going to need until the end of the world. So you have to start thinking, how can you replenish that? Can you grow your own food? Can you raise your own food? How about combining with neighbors and having a neighborhood garden? Because at some point, what you have stored will all run out. When you start growing your own food, or you can buy fresh produce cheaply, it is really smart to learn how to preserve it yourself. Canning tomatoes is really simple, and during the summer months, tomatoes are at bargain prices. So why not prepare? Why not get ready now on this side of it before it happens? It's not a question of if, it's a question of when.
Years ago, I saw the writing on the wall. I started looking into a shelter for myself. I couldn't find what I wanted, so I basically built my own. My name's Ron Hubbard. I'm the president of Atlas Survival Shelters. Demand for survival shelters has gone through the roof in the last couple of years. All the shelters start just like this. This is a 10-foot diameter galvanized corrugated pipe. This particular material is rated to last for up to 200 years underground and can be buried up to 40 feet. This is the only material known that's been tested with nuclear bombs. I made a shelter that's quite spacious and roomy. I've got tons of DVDs. I have my reclining couch. Right here is my TV. It's got plenty of stuff to do to keep me busy. I'm just gonna watch TV and sit back and have a nice cold one. The survival shelter has what's called an NBC, Nuclear Biological Chemical Air Filtration System. This will filter out the impurities. If looters or marauders want to get at your cache of food and water, they're going to have a very hard time breaking into your shelter. I can close the door from the inside, and I have a secondary bulletproof door. So if I'm down here and I hear the scratching of 100 people on the surface, my plan is just to turn the TV up. They're not going to get in. One of these countermeasures that I have in all my shelters is an escape tunnel that allows you to go out the other side of the shelter. Ready? You've got the one way in, you've got 2 ways out. What can the average Joe do to survive that doesn't have the funds to buy and bury his own bomb shelter? Well, I guess he could probably bend over and kiss his butt goodbye because he's not going to survive.